My name is Sidi Fofana, Deputy Director of Food Technology Services. We have a program called Food Formulation that we are going to develop for complementary food for infants from 6 months to above. So Food Technology Services is one of the technical unit on the Department of Agriculture mandated of food processing, preservation, post-harvest handling, value addition, etc. So we are mandated to disseminate transformation technology to beneficiaries, farmers, food processors, entrepreneurs, all the beneficiaries who are interested in food processing and preservation. So we normally disseminate this technology to beneficiaries, including cereal processing, fruits and vegetable processing, etc. But today, our work is going to base on preparation complementary food for infants, which is very, very important because we know that infants, they are suffering of malnutrition. It's very exclusive breastfeeding is very crucial from 0 to 6 months. You breastfeed your infants or your kids thoroughly, that you call it, without giving him or her even water. It's just purely breast milk. It's called exclusive breastfeeding. Then after that, you prepare a kind of food is called complementary food that includes carbohydrates, protein sources, vitamins and minerals. So this kind of food need to be rich in this kind of nutrients. You have macronutrients, you have micronutrients. Macronutrients, you get them from cereals and legumes. So from cereals, they are rich in carbohydrates. Cereal like millet, maize, etc. So protein source, you can get them from legumes also, from animal source also. So in this case, you formulate your infant food to get protein source and carbohydrate source also. You combine them together to avoid protein energy malnutrition. And also you enrich these infant foods with micronutrients like vitamins, minerals. So you can get those nutrients, we call them micronutrients, you can get them from fruits and vegetables after preparing your complementary food in a dry form, like what we did. But before that, we select what type of cereal do we want. Any cereal, be in millet, rice, maize, you can prepare complementary food from these cereals. But before that, you have to make sure that you select the quality raw material. If it is millet, make sure that you do sorting first. That means to get rid of infestation or any contaminant from there, because you can have hazards there like stone, hairs, glass, and unwanted materials there. So you need to clean that one first. Then before that, then you take it to the milling machine for dehulling, milling, etc. That we call primary processing. Because for these infant foods, you have to do it in a proper hygiene, under proper hygiene condition to get rid of all hazards. Can be biological, physical, or chemical. When we say biological, that's to get rid of molds and other microorganisms like bacteria. And also when we say physical hazard, that you can see them, those hazards, you can see them because they are harmful to human being, like stone, unwanted material, death insects. You can find them there. So try to get rid of those unwanted material from your raw material prior to primary processing. And even when you want to take it to the machine, you have to get rid of all those unwanted material like glass or metals, because they can break the machine itself. And also in the machine, you can see the machine should be clean always. You dismantle your milling machine, clean it thoroughly. Don't use the same a raw material for milling. Okay? Like when you mill, for example, maize, before you mill millet, you have to clean the machine so that to get rid of residue of millet there. So purely you mill only maize. Then after that, you clean your machine thoroughly. The same thing, when you mill millet, after that, then clean your machine thoroughly, and the environment of the milling machine also itself should be clean thoroughly, and even the person himself, the operator, he should apply personal hygiene. It's very crucial. Then from there, after taking to the milling machine, you bring it back, sieve it also. After sieving, you roast it. Why you roast it? So that to minimize moisture content, at least to reduce moisture content to the minimal level, because you need to dry mill these cereals, not wet milling. Wet milling cannot last longer. But when you dry mill your millet or your cereal, it means that it can be kept for a longer period without even having contamination by molds. So that's why we recommend dry milling for cereals. That means don't put water there. When you want to take it to the milling machine, make sure that you dry mill it, so that, because it will be in a powder form. And dry, and after milling also, why we roast it? To reduce moisture content from the flour or powder millet or maize, to reduce to minimal level, so that the molds cannot grow there. Because if it is moist, then that encourage microorganisms, particularly mold, to grow there, and that cause another contamination, and also it will be harmful to your infant. So you can keep it for quite long. Then, after sieving, then you pack them in a airtight container. So from there also, the same thing can be applied to maize. You know that maize also is very sensitive to fungal infection. So that's why you do sorting and make sure that you roast it before you take it to the machine. But the roasting stage for raw maize, you do it lightly, so that even during the roasting, the color will change into creamy color. When you observe that, you can reduce the fire, or you can take it off the fire. So this is the way you roast it. When we say roasting, means that just light roasting, not to roast it till it turns dark. No, just creamy color. When the color changes into creamy color, then you stop roasting and allow it to cool. After cooling, then you take it to the milling machine, where you can mill it. From there, when you bring it back, you sieve it to get rid of any unwanted material. Like maybe you can have some large grits, they may contain some unwanted material. So that's why, because this food is specifically for infants, and their digestive system is different from the elderly people. So that's why you have to be very careful, give them something that they can digest it easily, because their digestive system is different from ours. So, and all the material you are going to use in this processing utensils, like your bowls, your sieves, you yourself as a processor, personal hygiene there is very, very crucial. Good hygienic practices is very, very important. So make sure your environment, your processing area need to be clean, where you make your processing, and also your utensils, bowls, sieves, any material or any utensils you use, make sure you wash them thoroughly and you clean them thoroughly before you use them, because they contain microorganisms. So the moment you wash them, the moment you clean them thoroughly, you reduce the microbial load there, so that the level of contamination can be minimized. As I said, millet or maize or rice, you use them, they are a source of carbohydrates to provide your body with energy, because the child at that time needs energy to move. So without energy, you cannot move. Your body cannot do certain activity. That's why energy food is very important for infants. That's why we include cereal in infant food. So it can be source of energy. Can be cereal, it can be millet, maize, you name them. So for groundnut as a source of protein, that also need to be cleaned thoroughly, because aflatoxin is very serious, can cause liver cancer. That's why you make sure that you sort it, you clean it thoroughly to get rid of unwanted material there also, and damaged one also, or insect infestation there. So groundnut, we recommend that you select quality groundnut. All the raw material, the quality is very important. Look at the quality material. Don't say that because this groundnut is just wasted one, don't you want to use it for complementary food? No, it's not recommended. Use quality one. After sorting, you roast it, as I said earlier on. The same thing, you are going to roast it to creamy color. Don't roast it to turn into dark brown. No, just when the color start to change into creamy color, the same thing. You allow it to cool, then start removing the skin of the groundnut. You see, if you want to just select, don't look at the quality. Check the quality peanut. These are not the quality one. You have to remove them out. See, sometimes you may find stone here, or dead insects, or even hair, or glass, or metals. So it's not safe when you prepare it like that and you are going to give it to a child. It can cause a serious problem to him or her. That's why proper hygiene condition practices is very good. Good hygiene practices is very, very crucial. When you process food, make sure you apply good hygienic practices. The same thing as a maize, you see, sorted as I said. Then this groundnut, when you take it to the milling machine or grinder in the market, they will grind it for you. Or at our label here, we have grinder. We grind them. After cooling, we grind them into powder. After that, we start our measurement. So the measurement of complementary food here, as I said, the basic ingredients are millet or cereal and legumes. Can be beans, can be groundnut. So beans also the same thing. You have to pound it. You have to sort it out, as I said earlier on. The same thing, get rid of unwanted material, then take it to your milling machine to pound it for you into flour. Then after that, you sieve it. When you come back, then you roast it. Why you roast it? The same thing, so that you can reduce moisture content there. And also, if there is a microorganism also, it can reduce microbial load also because of the heat process you apply to it. Not to destroy nutrients, because some people may think, why you are doing that? You are destroying nutrients. No, it's just to reduce moisture content. That's why the heat processing here is not like a sterilization or pasteurization process, just moderate temperature. You are not going to destroy all the micronutrients there or macronutrients there. So it's very important to apply heat process there to reduce moisture content, so that the preservation period can be extended beyond 1 year. So the same thing, if you don't have groundnut, you can use you can use beans, what we call cowpea, the same. So either you use beans or you use groundnut, they are all the same. So the measurement we use here, like if you have millet, powder one, you need 1 cup of legumes, can be beans, can be groundnut, just 1 cup, 1-to-2 ratio. So normally the bulk of food comes from carbohydrates source, like millet or maize. This is the measurement. Wherever you go, you can find this measuring cup, milk tin. So the bulk food comes from carbohydrate source. Okay, like that's maize or millet. For groundnut or beans, 1 cup. If you have 2 cups of this, then you have 1 cup of beans or groundnut. Labeling also, as I explained to you, when you prepare any product, at any product, you need to label them. Put the necessary information there, particularly the main product, the main raw material names, you have to put it there, and ingredients. So for this complementary food, the label contain millet flour. So you add roasted beans, and also even this millet flour, it was roasted. The beans also was roasted. So the bean also grind into flour, as millet also mill into flour. So both of them, they were roasted, as I say, to reduce moisture content, and also the shelf life, also to extend the shelf life. So that's why you have to say that roasted millet flour and roasted bean flour. So these are the two ingredients in these products. The shelf life also, we expect that it can be kept for almost 1 year, starting from production date. The net weight also is there, because we are using the cup. 6 of that is equal to 700 grams. So at village level or wherever you go, if you don't have a scale, you can use that cup as your measuring cup. 6 of that equals to 700 grams. But let me explain to you the ratio between the legumes and cereals. If you want to combine cereals with legumes to prepare complementary food, the ratio is, if you have 2 cups of cereals, you need 1 cup of legumes. So these are the information you need. We call label. Because label, normally the name of the product should be mentioned in the label, and ingredients the product contain, you have to mention them in the label. And also manufacturing date, expiry date, the name of the producer, the address, if you can put your address there, and also the net weight of the product itself. That means without containers weight, just only purely products weight. Okay, that doesn't contain the containers weight. It's only a product's name, product's weight. It is called net weight. So labeling is very important, because it tells you about the product, what are the ingredients in the product. So, and it tells you manufacturing producer's name, and also the address. So if you want to trace, you can call the person, or you can follow the address wherever the product is produced or processed.